The Beast's Challenge. Princess Elara was known more for her strategic mind than for her royal title. So when a gilded scroll arrived from the Beast of Briarwood Keep, it was not a proposal, but a challenge that piqued her interest. For the Beast, this was his own challenge, a carefully constructed test to see if he could learn to love. Elara's journey to the strange and feared Briarwood Keep was one of quiet curiosity. She rode not with an army, but with a single, trusted squire, her mind filled with puzzles and possibilities. She saw this not as a danger to be survived, but a mystery to be solved. The gates of Briarwood Keep loomed, draped in vines that bloomed with starlit flowers. The Beast, more magnificent and imposing than any tale had described, met her there. "Welcome, Princess," his voice rumbled, a deep sound that held a hint of hope. "Succeed in my challenges, and any treasure in this castle is yours." The first challenge was the Whispering Labyrinth, a maze of shifting thorns that rearranged itself with every passing minute. "The goal is not to escape, but to find its heart," the Beast explained from a high balcony, his own heart a maze of hope and fear. Elara stepped into the labyrinth. The thorns, sharp as daggers, moved around her, walls of green and shadow closing in one moment and opening into new paths the next. She felt a strange, magical pressure, as if the maze itself was trying to confuse her. Instead of rushing in, Elara stood still and observed. She noticed the thorns swayed in a slow, deliberate pattern, following the faint light that filtered from above. Using a small, polished mirror from her pocket, she didn't fight the maze. She danced with it, reflecting light to guide the thorns and open a path. She soon reached the center, where a single, perfect rose glowed with a soft, inner light. As she gently touched its petals, the entire labyrinth fell silent and still. From his balcony, the Beast watched, a flicker of true admiration in his eyes. He saw that she understood some things could not be conquered, only understood. That evening, they shared a silent meal in the grand dining hall. The silence was not awkward, but thoughtful. Afterward, the Beast led her to a moonlit garden for the second challenge. "Here," he said, his voice softer, "you must find the one real flower among 1,000 illusions." Elara walked among the shimmering blossoms. They changed color and shape, whispering promises of power, beauty, and endless riches. One flower showed her a vision of herself on a magnificent throne, adored by all. She paused, tempted by the image. But Elara knew that true power was not given, but earned. She closed her eyes, shutting out the dazzling sights and seductive whispers. She relied on her other senses, reaching out with her hands, feeling for the subtle warmth and texture of something truly alive. Her fingers brushed against a simple, unassuming daisy. It didn't glow or make promises, but it felt solid and real beneath her touch. She plucked it and presented it to the Beast. He looked from the plain flower to her, a newfound respect in his gaze. She had chosen truth over illusion. For the third trial, they met in the castle's vast library. Books towered to the ceiling, filled with the knowledge of ages. "Now a battle of wits," the Beast said, gesturing to the towering shelves. "A test of the mind." The Beast posed the first riddle, his deep voice echoing in the quiet room. "I have no voice, but I can break kingdoms. I have no hands, but I can build empires. What am I?" Elara smiled, her eyes sparkling with intelligence. "An idea," she answered confidently. "Now, my turn." She looked at him directly, her gaze steady and clear. "I can be shattered with a word. I am strongest when I am given away freely. What am I?" The Beast was silent for a long moment. He paced before the fireplace, his heavy footsteps the only sound. He glanced at the books, filled with facts and histories, but he knew the answer was not written on any page. It was an answer of the heart. "Trust?" he finally rumbled, the word tasting unfamiliar and profound. He looked at her, not as an opponent, but as an equal. For the first time, he felt a warmth spread through his chest, a true and hopeful stirring of love. The fourth challenge lay deep beneath the castle, in an echoing cavern. A wide, dark chasm separated them from the other side. "You must cross," the beast explained. "The bridge is invisible, made of sound. A single note, held true, will sustain it." To demonstrate, the beast took a deep breath and let out a powerful, resonant note. A bridge of shimmering light appeared, but as he took a step, echoes of his past anger and loneliness filled the cave. His note wavered, and the bridge flickered violently. He stumbled back to safety. Elara understood. It was not a test of power, but of peace. She took a calming breath and began to sing a simple, clear lullaby her mother had taught her. The note was not loud, but it was pure and unwavering. The bridge solidified into a steady, glowing path. She walked across the sound bridge with ease. Reaching the other side, she turned and beckoned for him to follow. He tried to match her peaceful note, but his voice was still choked with turmoil. He could not make the bridge hold. She had won the challenge, but she did not leave. She waited. For the final challenge, they returned to the main castle to climb the highest tower. "This is not a race," the beast said, his voice quiet after his failure in the cavern. "It is a journey we must take together." The steps were enchanted, each one a test of character. On one of the first steps, a magical illusion filled Elara's mind with a vision of her kingdom in peril, tempting her to abandon the challenge and rush home. She faltered, her face filled with worry. The beast saw her distress. He moved to her side and placed a reassuring paw gently on her shoulder. "Your heart is strong, and your mind is wise. You will know what to do when the time is right," he said. His steady presence broke the illusion, and she found the strength to continue. Higher up, a step plunged the beast's mind into the cold loneliness of his past. He let out a roar of anguish, stumbling back. Elara didn't offer words. Instead, she simply took his large paw in her hands, her firm, warm grip, a silent promise that he was no longer alone. Together, they took the next step. From the top of the tower, the world spread out below them. "You have won all the challenges, Princess," the beast said, his voice thick with emotion. "We won," she corrected him gently. He gestured to the treasures of the castle, visible through a window. "Choose your prize." Elara looked away from the gold and jewels and met his gaze. "I believe I already have," she said. The beast's heart, once a fortress, was finally open. He had challenged love, and in doing so had won it.